And one of the most dreadful events in HBS is you show up in the morning like this, and the professor calls any student at random. And on that basis, in the spirit of HBS, is Mohammed here? No, I'm just joking. I was going to ask you about your experience in Kenya. Anyway, without taking much time, Your Excellency, I'd like to invite Professor Kim to make some remarks, and then we take it from there. Thank you.
Mr. President, Ambassador Whitman, members of Harvard Business School, class of 2025, Aiden Mohammed, and all of those who have contributed to this occasion. Mr. President, I graduated from Harvard Business School in 1980. I look much younger than I really am. And after 7 years in the President's office in Nigeria, and I want to assure you, you'd rather be in Kenya than Nigeria, and after 30 years in business, Mr. President, for some strange reason, I decided to go back to teaching. And my mission was to bring Harvard into Africa and to bring Africa into Harvard. I designed the first 2 courses on Africa, and now we have a course called Global Immersion, in which the students are trying to do 3 things. 1, we're trying to teach them leadership. Secondly, we're trying to teach them teamwork. 3, we are trying to teach them to understand leadership in the context of a different continent, a different culture, and a different area. Harvard Business School has selected 16 countries to which they should go. 4 are in Africa. The 4 selected for Africa are Kenya, Rwanda, Morocco, and Ghana. My wife is from Ghana. I met her at Harvard Law School, and she never fails to remind me that Nigeria was not selected. All the students here selected Nairobi, Kenya, as their first choice of the 16 countries that were selected. During their time here, they have been attached to a number of Kenyan companies: Naivas, Coco, Prudential, Maidawa, and several others. And they have spent a few weeks trying to study the various problems of the companies, and this morning they presented their findings to the companies. I've already heard back from many of the companies that they did an outstanding job and that they would like Harvard to come back again next year. Mr. President, it is with great pride that I formally introduce to you the class of 2025 from what we very modestly regard as the #1 business school in the world. Thank you very much.
Okay. So my name is Meg Whitman. I'm the United States Ambassador to Kenya and the great class of 1979 at Harvard. When, interestingly, my class was 10% women. So pretty different than I think your class is 50% women. Anyway, I have had a number of different jobs. I'm not a career foreign service officer.
2025. Harvard Business School. Good evening. How are you guys? You're good? Please relax. I can feel there is a lot of tension around. Please relax. This is going to be moments of sharing. I would want to ask you some questions, so you better be ready. First, let me welcome you to Kenya and join all the other people who you may have interacted in the course of your stay here in Kenya. feel at home, and if any one of you chooses not to go back to America, we'll give you a Kenyan citizenship. And the reason is I am a scientist by training, not at the Harvard Business School, but at Nairobi University. And I slightly feel intimidated by this Harvard story, because here in Kenya, the best university we have, and we normally bully others, is Nairobi University. So we normally tell the other people, you come from Kenyatta University and Moi University and all the other universities. But then there is the University of Nairobi. I don't know what to say to Harvard Business School. But being a scientist, Kenya, if you read between the lines of science, the earliest remains of man have been traced to Kenya. So this is the home of human origin. And therefore, when you are in Kenya, you are at home. So I should have started by saying, welcome home. Secondly, you are in the continent of the future. I say the future because as a leader in this continent, there is every reason, those of you who are in business school, and the future is here. The future is here for 3.5 reasons. This is the continent with the highest renewable energy capacity and potential. As you've heard, Kenya is 93% green on our grid. We intend to make it 100% in the next 7 years. Kenya will all be green energy. And the future is green. I know there are people who still need some persuasion about where the future is. I don't expect that from anybody from Harvard Business School. I know all of you are persuaded that the future is green. And therefore, if we have 60% of the world's renewable energy assets, that's the future. Secondly, this is the continent that has the youngest population. Our median age is 20, 19 and a half actually.